Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to do a Bundesliga special previewing the, what's it called, the redoing of the season, I guess. I'm joined as always by Owen. How are you, mate?
How are we doing, guys? Hope you're all well.
Good. And we've also got a one-day contract from no other than Tom from Inter at the time. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Cheers for having me back.
That's all right.
That is not a problem.
My internet and Zoom's playing up today, so you're going to have to bear with me. But yeah.
Do our best.
We're all massive German football fans, aren't we, lads? We all love it.
Obviously,
massive diehard fans. No, honestly, we know a bit of it, but we spent a lot of time doing research. Hopefully, you don't like it. Don't turn off the video yet. We know what we're on about. Well, we think we do anyway.
We've done our best anyway.
We've got 16 to study, so hopefully we'll do. So we'll start with bottom of the league, shall we, lads? Get straight into it. Paderborn. Now, they're my team, and they are shocking. Like they're currently played 25, won 4, drawn 4, lost 17. Well, minus 24 goal difference with only 16 points.
Minus 24.
Now, they average 1.2 goals a game. It's not too bad, but they concede 2.6 a game, so that's shocking. Their manager, Staffron Baumgart, which a lot of pronunciations goes wrong today. To be fair, he's actually done a good job because he got them back-to-back promotions. From the third division, second division, now to Bundesliga. So to be fair, he's done a good job. They're one of the favourites to go down, and honestly, I can see them going down. I mean, the best player, what I highlighted was centre back Sebastian Schonler, I believe, who averages 2.8 tackles a game, 1.8 interceptions, and 6.2 clearances, and averages 7.1 on who scores. So them numbers are good, but obviously they're always defending. So as you can imagine, his numbers are always going to be good. My prediction is last place, relegation. The fixtures are kind of hard. Has anyone else got anyone else for bottom, or would you say they're going down last?
No, from the teams that I've got down the bottom, they're going down for me.
Yeah, Paderborn are off. They're gone. They're gone.
See you in 2 years,
They're gone. They're done with.
They might get back-to-back promotion again or something. or you never know. But...
All right, then we'll go to Werder Bremen. Tom, did you have them?
Nah, I think it was.
Was that Owen? Was that you, Owen?
Yes.
Right, so what do you want to tell us right now, man?
So, it's not been a great campaign. Obviously, sat in 17th. The 8 points clear of safety. So if they want to stay... I mean, they've got the lifeline of the fact that they're only 4 points off. You know, like they do the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs. Yeah.
So they've got 4 points. They're 4 points off that. So if they can somehow mount a push, they could make the playoffs. But 8 points clear of safety, it's not looking good.
No.
It doesn't help. Only have 4 wins, a goal difference of minus 28. Which is the worst in the league. Worst in the league.
It is, yeah.
They're losing every game by near enough every game anyway by sort of more than 2 goals, not scoring a lot at all. So I think it's going to be a stretch to even get the 4 points, let alone even stay up. Bright sparks though. There's a couple of players. So there's Milot Rasha, I think it's pronounced. He's only 23. And he has somehow managed to produce 7 goals and 4 assists.
That's not bad.
Which isn't bad to say where they are. One thing that I did find though, and I feel like he could have done with more opportunity over the season. Rasha was sort of, I think it was something like 1,800 minutes he's played. But they've got a young lad from the US. He's only 20. His name's Joshua Sargent. He's bagged 3 goals and 2 assists, but he's only played something like 700 minutes over the season.
Yeah.
So technically, he's on track to actually be better than Milot, and they both play the same position. So it's one of them. It's like young lad, you know.
Yeah.
Give him the chance. Maybe they need a bright young spark if they're going to try and stay up this year. That would definitely be interesting to see as they start playing again. Bit of a fun fact, they were founded in 1989 by 16 high school students.
Oh.
The only reason that they like formed this team was because they won a game of tug of war, and the winner won a football. So
Fair enough.
they won this tug of war game, win this football, and they're like, right, okay, we've got a football now. We need a team, and then that's how the team was born. So they've got a really weird, unique history. So it'd be nice to see them pull it out of the bag, but it's
what
not
do you think's
looking
gonna
good.
happen? What's your prediction for their season?
I think they're going down. I'd like to see them at least maybe give it a go and try and get the playoff spot, but defensively they're just poor.
Yeah, poor.
They just can't defend. Like minus 28 goal difference is
terrible.
It's ridiculous.
I've got them going down too. I mean, one thing to note as well before we carry on is people are watching, like, form goes out the window right now. Obviously, it was such a big break.
Yeah.
But I agree. In my eyes, they're going down. What about you, Tom? Do you think they have a second team to go down?
No, I think they're going to get the playoffs. I genuinely do. I genuinely do. I mean, you look at Werder Bremen. They're a team with like history. They're a team with pedigree. Yeah. They've played European football, so there's obviously there's something about them.
Yeah.
And they've got 9 games left. They only need 4 points. Oh no, they've got 9 games.
They've got a game in hand.
They've got 10 games. Yeah, they've got to play Eintracht Frankfurt, I think.
That game in hand could be key.
Could be key because they've got to get 4 points. Isn't too hard, but if you got to hope that the team above lose, but I think they'll make the playoffs. I do.
I just think minus 28 goal difference is just
true. But I'm guessing if you've got them in playoffs, I'm guessing you've got Dusseldorf dropping down every time.
I have got Dusseldorf dropping down.
Why do you think they're dropping down then?
Well, obviously they're in 16th. They've got a goal difference of minus 23. They're not great. They're on 22 points. Mm-hmm. They've only won 5 games, so they've only won 1 more than both Paderborn and Werder Bremen. So they're not the best. They've lost 13, drawn 7. I mean, they're not one of the biggest teams in the Bundesliga. So when I was giving them, I expected them, not looking at the table, to be around sort of that bottom half of the table. Yeah. They are, but then you look at the team. They got a lad called Ruben Hennings up front, who's from all accounts big, physical, holds the ball up and quite strong in the air. Yeah. And he's their leading goal scorer. So he's got 11 goals this season, which
that's not too bad.
It's not too, for a team at the bottom of the league. It's probably one of the better teams. They got and their most promising player is a guy called Eric Tommy. He's a winger. He's 25. He's got 5 goals, 5 assists.
It's not bad on the wing.
Only played 18 games, so not too bad. I expect him to move in a couple of years, just from looking at rumours about him and whether or not he'll stay in Germany, whether or not he'll get reports from going to France or somewhere like Marseille.
Interesting.
Something like that came out. But the story of their season, they've been battling at the bottom of the league, obviously. They're in that playoff space at the moment. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling they will. The last 5 games they've drawn, lost, won, drawn. But obviously, like we said, form's irrelevant at the moment, considering you've had 2 months off.
Yeah.
They have got quite a tricky running of games. I think they've got Munich and Dortmund to play. So they've got they've got the 2 big ones. And they've got Wolfsburg and Freiburg as well. So they've got some more teams in the top half of the table to play. But
it's really tight there as well. So
it's really compact to the bottom of the table, which probably makes it for good viewing and a decent end to the season. But I think they're gonna drop. They're gonna finish 17th and go for it. But interesting facts about them. Obviously, Hennings is the top goal scorer with 11 goals. They've got 76.8% pass completion rate, which is all right considering some of the other teams I looked at are like 70. So to be 16, they're doing all right, and they average 12.4 shots a game. But the Ruben Hennings averages 8 shots a game. So he's obviously pulling their average up a bit. But and he's played pretty much every game this season for him. But no, I think they're going to go down. I can't see any teams above them putting a stake in. So,
Well, obviously the team above them in 15th is Mainz, sorry. And I studied them. Obviously sitting 15th, 4 points off relegation, so they're nowhere near safe. It's an interesting one because they've got a record of 8 wins, 2 draws, 15 losses. So they don't draw many games. They have a win or lose. They're on minus 19 goal difference, so again, not great. Their manager, Archie Benzler, or I believe that's how you pronounce it, actually managed Cologne, but then he got sacked in November because they were rock bottom. And 10 days later, they signed him. So I don't know what was I thinking behind that. But I was 50-50 whether they're going to drop down or not because their next few fixtures, I mean, I'm looking at now. The next fixture on this Saturday is Cologne away, so he's returning to his old team for the first time.
That's going to be tricky.
Then they've got Red Bull, RB Leipzig. They've also got teams like Dortmund to play and Leverkusen to play, both away. So
you don't want that.
For them. And they've got Union Berlin, which have been actually my favourite team. I was looking at they're away. But then I swing the way saying they'll stay up is because we've got a player called Robin Quaison, who I put down as a key player. He's got 12 goals and 2 assists, and he plays like left wing. For a team that's battling down there, you need a player like that to get you like, I don't know, 16 goals a season to keep you up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think I've swung more to the side that they will survive, but I think they won't go anywhere above 15th. Because throughout the season, they beat the teams below them. So they beat every team below them. So they're beating the teams that they need to beat. But just to get a few more draws, I think, against one of these. I think they get a draw, I don't know, Leverkusen and Berlin.
Could bag a draw there. They're probably going to stay on.
Exactly. And obviously, like I said, they have a decent player that scores them goals, in that winger. So he'll keep them up. But like I said, the first game against who are we against? Berlin will be an interesting one. But yeah, I've got them in 15th. So I think they'll stay up. I think it'll be won't be as easy as people think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we go to Hertha Berlin. And have you got them?
I've got Hertha Berlin.
Hertha Berlin is
sorry, I've missed a team here. 14th, Augsburg.
So
my bad.
Sat in 14th, 27 points. So sort of clear at the moment in time anyway, clear of the drop by 5 points, which is
that's a nice cushion, that is.
It is a nice cushion, but obviously, like we say, form goes out the window with this. I mean, it's going to be. We don't know how this season's going to start because we've never faced anything like this. So
Agreed.
No one knows. The table could look completely different, but I think it's clear. Obviously, 2 months off, they need a good kickstart to just safely sort of edge them over.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did notice looking at their season: 7 wins and 6 draws. A lot of the time they're losing out on games by 1 goal. So if they can they've got the lead and they're losing it in the last minute by 1 goal.
Yeah.
So if they can sort of try and convert some of them draws, I think there was 3 or 4 occasions where they just lost the lead. So, if they converted some of them draws into wins, then, they're sat in a different part of the table. But given the circumstances, I don't think they're in trouble. Best player of the season, right, names. I'm just going to say this now. I ain't got a clue. But I think it's Florian Nurchler. I might have said that. I probably have said that wrong. You never know.
It's a good effort. It's a good effort.
You get what you get, 11 goals, 6 assists, which isn't too bad. The more successful thing is he's got a passing success rate of 75%. So he's a forward. So
not bad.
In terms of going up, he's really the guy pulling the strings. 29 years of age, so he's still got some days in him. But you wonder obviously with the transfer window coming up, he's one of them players that could get snapped up. Given that,
the season.
Yeah, he could get snapped up for a cheap deal, and he could end up, trying to save one of the lower teams. In terms of the team as a whole, though, I don't think they should be sat where they are. They've got the club's going in a really good direction. They've got a very new ground. And a German newspaper said the steep stands and the fantastic atmosphere meant that it earned the nickname of the Anfield Road of the B17. I'm guessing that's the postcode that it's on. So the clubs and the club as a whole and the fan base are obviously are very good. So I just think they've just had a bad season, and they've just got to try and elevate themselves as much as they can. So it'd be interesting to see what sort of next season brings them. I don't think they're going down though. I think they're too good.
Fair enough, I agree. I think they're going to stay up. And then we move to 13th now, which we go to Tom now. Hertha Berlin. How's that season been?
It's been, from all accounts, it's been all right. I think Hertha Berlin are one of those sort of bog standard mid-table finish Bundesliga sides every season. They might get close to the top 6 every so often, but they're never they're never going to really set the field alight. So, well, they've had a steady away season. Actually, 13th, they're 28 points. They're 6 clear of the playoff, 10 clear of that auto relegation. I think any team above them or 13th now are pretty much safe. I don't think you'd have to have a real stinker to go down. You'd have to lose pretty much every single one of your 9 games to go. So I think they've been steady away. But yeah, their best player is Rune Jarstein. I think you pronounce his name. Mm-hmm. He's Norwegian. Their goalkeeper, been at the club since 2014. Yeah, he's played pretty much their captain. I think been around a while. One of the fans' favourites. Made over 70 appearances for his country, so he's pretty well regarded, well established player. And I think he's from what the newspapers have said, he's been the person who's keeping that team sort of keeping him in it. Really, he's been pulling off the saves, keeping the clean sheets out. Yeah. The most promising player is a lad called Dodi Lukembako. I think he pronounces his name. Not sure how to pronounce it, but yeah, he's a leading goal scorer. He got the most assists in the team. So he got both of them. He plays up front. Yeah, the German newspaper said he's quick, good dribbler, and really good at short range finishing. So nice. Good little player. I expect from what the papers said, if he's that sort of a player and he's doing best for them, in whether or not on the German Bundesliga side could come for him. After research, obviously, I looked into Wolfsburg and I thought from just looking, they didn't have a striker who was quick.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So he could be a perfect fit into that sort of team potentially.
Fair enough.
But then story of the season, it's like I said, it's pretty average for him. I mean, ideally, you look at him, you think probably maybe top 10.
I think it should be a bit higher. They put quite a bit of money into the club.
They put quite a lot of money in. If you look at it, I would have said ideally between that 8 to 10 mark, you'd sort of be looking at. Yeah. I'd say if you got there a good season, anything below that, you're all right. You're not terribly dishappy with, but you're all right. But then again, they're in 13. They're level on points with 12, and they're only off 10th. They're only 4 points off 10th, so they're not. It's quite congested in the middle of the table. It's really congested.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? To be fair.
So like if they get a couple of wins in the 9 games, they're well on their way to mounting the charge for it. And they're only 8 points off. They're only 9 points off 6. So it's really bunched up there. So if they get some good runs going, they could, in all fairness, challenge at the top. But they said they've won 7, lost 7, and drawn 11. So they've not been brilliant. In
mid-table form, mate. That's
mid-table form. You win a few, draw a few, lose more. Yeah. And the last 5 games show it. Obviously, form's not a thing. They've lost 1, lost, drawn. So they've been pretty inconsistent throughout the season. They've not really had much of a thing. But my prediction was mid-table, anywhere between sort of 13th and 9th.
Fair enough.
I can't really put. I'd say probably somewhere around 11th if I was gonna. I'd say 11th if I had to pick a place.
Yeah.
But you're looking at their stats. Lukembu is their top goal scorer and assists. He's got 5 goals and 5 assists. So that's really low. That's really low for a Bundesliga side. Only 5 goals. You're the top goal scorer.
Have they got piss check? They got piss check. They've not got piss check anymore.
No, I don't think. I think he's back at Dortmund.
Oh, I thought not piss check. I'm not piss check. Piontek, striker.
Oh, Piatek.
Yeah, you know the one who we got from AC Milan. Because he was going to be the next big thing, wasn't he? Do you remember? He scored. Serie A.
Yeah, Christoph Piatek. Yeah, he's only played 5 games from this season, scored 1 goal.
I wonder if he's been injured.
I'm assuming he's been injured because, like you said, he was last year set the world alight, didn't he? And was it in Italy?
Yeah, and then the AC Milan kind of dropped off, so they sold him to. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, exactly. But then you're looking at their stats. They've had a 76% pass completion rate, but differing to. Weirdly, their shots per game is a lot lower. They're only on 10.8 average shots per game, so they're lower than Fortuna Dusseldorf. So that shows they're probably lacking in strike force, which does show considering your leading goal scorer has only got 5 goals.
Makes you wonder if they can sort of just finish in that final third, get a few more shots off. They could be in a different position, couldn't they? Really,
I think looking into their team and their strike force. They're not. It's not like a bunch of older lads. They're not young lads. They seem to all be like between 20 and 28. They seem to all have been about a bit. And it's just either they're just not gelling or they're just not good enough. I think in the summer it must be in their mind to bring in some form of striker.
Yeah,
of some sort. Because I was looking into it, and obviously there's the amount of English players that are in the Bundesliga on loan.
Yeah, it's huge.
Why don't they look into loaning a striker from somewhere in England?
Yeah,
I was trying to think of some strikers, but I couldn't really think of it. Obviously, Adiola Lookman's I think he's at Leipzig or somewhere like that. He would have been probably a nice fit for them.
Agreed.
Quick, biggish lad will do a job for you up front. I think they need to probably look into the loan market or academy, bring someone from the youth, and just get them in and bed them in. But yeah,
fair enough.
Mid-table.
Fair enough. And then we got 12th, which is Frankfurt, and I looked at Frankfurt. Last year, Frankfurt obviously were one of the best teams to watch. They obviously nearly knocked out Chelsea, didn't they, in Europa League? They got to the semi-final. But obviously, a lot has changed since then. They lost 3 of the best players. But we'll talk about the season first. So, but obviously, sit 12, mid-table. The record is 8 wins, 4 draws, and 12 losses. Again, mid-table form. Nothing that's amazing. 38 goals they've scored, 41 conceded. So a difference of -3. That's not too bad, to be fair.
It's all right.
No. Their manager, Adi Hutter, has managed the club since 2018. But yeah, obviously at the start of the season, they lost some of their key players, especially Haller, who was obviously now at West Ham, who was like their top goal scorer. They also lost 2 more. I can't quite put my finger on who it was. I forgot to find them out. But
when editing this podcast, I realised I'm a massive idiot and I forgot Luka Jovic, probably one of the best strikers last season, who obviously went to Madrid. So I do apologise for forgetting him.
The current player, the best player right now, is a player called Filip Kozatic, who plays left wing. He's got 4 goals and 8 assists. So he contributes a goal/assist every 2 games. So that's pretty decent. He's left wing. So
it's a good return. Return.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
It's hard because they've not really got a striker that scores and goals. Do you know what I mean? So they've not got that number 9. But their season's been really weird. One game they battered Bayern Munich 5-1, and that's how they got their mind sacked from Bayern Munich. So you know what I mean? They battered Bayern Munich 5-1, but then they'll lose to the work. So the season's been up and down, very inconsistent. They were meant to be. I think they were probably meant to be a bit higher than they actually are. Looking at the squad, but for some reason it just hasn't clicked this season. Maybe they need another year. A bit like Hertha Berlin. I think a lot of teams in the Bundesliga, which I looked. I don't know about you lads, but not many of them have got that top striker that will bag them 10 goals minimum a season.
Yeah.
So I think, and looking at the fixtures, they've got Bayern to play. Must be fair, they've only got Bayern and probably Wolfsburg that are challengers, so they might be able to make a late push to top mid-table, but looking at the points and where they are, I can't see them getting much higher than 10th, to be fair. So I think a bit like Hertha Berlin, I don't think they're going to go far at all. So, yeah, Frankfurt, should go look, again, a bit like a lot of teams, you go look for a striker that can bag them a few goals. So, Owen, obviously, we go to you next, which is Union Berlin, which has been one of the favourite stories of the season. They were favourites to get relegated.
Yeah.
But real. So, how's their season been?
I've really enjoyed looking into them, to be fair. Obviously, like you said, favourites to go down, but they've sat themselves in 11th. And if you study the table between I think for me, the one thing I saw is you go from 11th to 6th, so Schalke. Which Schalke are only sat on 37 points. So they're actually sort of coming back into the season 7 points off the Europa League. I mean, to say that you were the favourites, we're meant to be the favourites for relegation, to be 7 points off the Europa League. That's a bloody good. Achievement.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you think about the way that the season is going to start. There's a lot of uncertainty. You know, a team's going to slip up. They could even make it.
Yeah.
You never know. I am rooting for them. Out of all the teams that I've looked at, to be fair, I really like them. In terms of playing style, obviously it's been a great season for them.
Yeah.
Respectively. If they were to make this push though defensively, there needs to be a few tweaks. I think if you're them, you either try and develop the defence or you try and bring in a couple of lads on the cheap. Given the -9 goal difference, which isn't a bad goal difference.
Not terrible.
No, it's not at all. There's, I think Hoffenheim have got one very similar.
Yeah, -8. Yeah.
But if you want to be challenging near the top, to be 7 points off, that needs to be better. Defensively,
I guess the aim isn't for that, though, is it? I guess the aim
no,
is
of course.
this is like a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to... you fire as high as you can, don't you, at the end of the day? Like,
you just want a miracle, don't you?
Yeah, if you're 7 points off Europa League, you've got to have a push. But I just don't think this year it's going to happen. You never know, because we're coming out of a 2-month lockdown. They might catch some people by surprise. Why I think they will catch people by surprise is because going forward, they are beautifully organised. Yeah. Like, amazingly organised. Play down the wing, play with width, and they play out from the back. I like playing down the wings because I was a winger when I was a kid. So, I just find that exciting. But it's not only that, it's that they play their players in the right positions. So they've got Sebastian Andersson. He's bagged 11 goals this season. For a team that was meant to be relegated is pretty good. And he stands at 6'2". Yeah. So they're using him perfectly. Yeah, he's a unit. He's in the middle. They bang him in the box. They play down wide and they whip balls in for him. And he's bagged 11. So in terms of going forward, they've been great in terms of scoring when they need to. And I think majority of their goals have come from really nicely worked plays. It's just about developing their defence. I don't think they're going to make a push against Schalke. It'd be nice to see it. You never know. Yeah. But all in all, fantastic season for them. 7 points clear for 7 points off Europa League, given their sort of I don't know what's the word, representation.
Yeah, 100%.
They've had a great year, so also, I think they'll be happy.
I agree with that. And obviously, a bonus of that, they also beat their arch rivals, Hertha Berlin. They'll be in top flight for a year, so that was good. Yeah. Fair enough. I think they've been one of my favourite stories of the season. But another story that's been really good and underrated, if you're not into German football, is FC Cologne, who went from bottom, like I said, the manager who manages Mainz now, obviously got sacked. And then, Tom, what's happened? Their season's been an absolute turnaround.
If you asked me that question in the start of November, I would have said they're absolutely dead and buried. They were
terrible.
I think
they were.
Their manager, Achim Bielsa, I think you pronounce his
name.
That's
the one at Mainz, yeah.
Yeah, in November he got sacked after having a record after 11 games, 2 wins, 1 draw, 8 losses.
Bloody hell.
So it's terrible starting. Cologne are regarded. They're a team. They can play like they've been in Europe a lot, and they challenge reasonably decent at the top half of the table. So after 11 games, we're sat in 17th place. They're now mid-table. They're now absolutely storming. They're now in 10th. They're 10th, and they've got a run going at the moment, and I think that's one of the big things for them to be sat in 17th. They were replaced by Marcus Gidsol, regarded as one of the better one of the underrated managers in German football. Yeah. So he's just come in and put his spin on it. Hasn't really brought in any players in January. Just sort of put his spin on it. Took the players he had and just got them going, which I think he deserves. He does deserve a lot of credit for what they're doing. And
it does, yeah.
Form shows it. Considering they'd lost 8 games in November. They've now only lost 13th. They've lost 5 games since November, which is all right. But that's not team. They've only drawn 2 though, so that's their big downfall. They can't draw games. They're either winning them or they're winning them or losing. But they've won 10, drawn 2, lost 13. Goal difference -6. Not too bad, considering they were losing every game at the start of the season. To have -6 at the moment is pretty decent. And their form's been all right recently. The last 5 they've lost 1-1-1 loss. So they've been winning games. Like I said, they've just not been the draws in there. I think if they converted 3 or 4 of them losses into draws, they could be sitting in 8th, 9th, and
that'd be
then you're looking
at
and when you're sat in 8th and 9th, you're not thinking about consolidating for the season. You're thinking about let's get into Europe, let's give it a crack, let's see if we can even be on the fringe of making Europa League and bring it down to the last game of the season, and then have a real scrap out for the last game, see if we can make it. But their season's been brilliant. I mean, their best player I've highlighted 2 really. This guy called John Cordoba. He's one of the quickest and strongest forwards in the league with shot and one of the strongest shots. And he's a Colombian lad, and he's been named as the Colombian version of Didier Drogba. So he plays very similar style of football to him. I'm not sure how true it is, but he's been likened to him. So obviously he's 26 as well. He's got a decent record this season. He's their top goal scorer. He's got 10 goals, not too bad. He's played 22 games, so he's played pretty much all their games this season. And then I think the club captain, Timo Horn, I think he's called, stalwart of the club, been at the academy, went through Cologne's second team, and then into the first team. 240 appearances for the club and still going.
Legend.
Still not made it. Still not played international football yet. So you look at that. You got Neuer and Ter Stegen keeping him out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's not always.
And then
easy,
Leno, and you got
And then Leno, he's not a chance. But then most promising, I've highlighted as Cordova. I mean, the season he's had, nobody expected him to live up to what he's done this year. So
yeah,
and because he's quick, because he's strong, and because he's got really strong shot power, I can see him going into some sort of lower to mid-table Prem side.
Yeah.
Some, obviously, Premier League football, they like to get the ball in behind and get people running after the ball. And if that's his style of play, maybe he'd fit in somewhere.
Yeah.
So, looking at the Prem, maybe somewhere like Aston Villa, maybe. They've been struggling up front. Newcastle as well. Newcastle have been dreadful going forward.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a team like that where his pace and his strength could really benefit him. And obviously, like you said, they've got a really good run into the end of the season. They've only in the 9 left. They've got Leverkusen and Leipzig, and they're the only 2 big teams to play. They've got 7 decent games, and I think 4 of them are at home as well. Not that really makes much of a difference with no fans anymore.
Of course, yeah.
But obviously the home advantage will stick. But considering that, I think everything they've been through, I think they're going to be in 9th. I don't think they're going to hit Europe. I don't think they can get there. I think the players, they've obviously put a lot in the last few months to get from 17th to 10th. I think the players, with 2 months off, I think they're still going to be mentally and physically drained and tired still.
Of course, yeah.
All the work they've put in. But
they're
I think
overperforming a bit, aren't they? They're overperforming.
Credit should go to the players and also the manager for coming from 17th to 10th. I mean, there's no chance they're getting relegated anymore. They're one of the best stories of the league, I think, and best stories in European football for that matter. I think, to come from where they were to where they are.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
And then the stats show it. Obviously, Cordova, 10 goals, quality player, had a great season. Can see him going forward. 76% pass completion rate. I think that, considering they were 17th, I think you've got to probably if you look to that in the last month of playing, it'll probably be a lot higher because that's taken into consideration when they were struggling a bit. And they're averaging 13 shots a game, so they're averaging a few more. So you can tell they're a bit of an attacking side. But then looking at their team, they need to reinforce the defence, I think.
Yeah.
Inexperience, and I think just people coming to the end of their career, they need that fresh blood, whether it's academy or they bring someone in. And then I think one thing they were really lacking was a defensive midfielder. You see a lot of the German clubs have that just guy sits in front of the back 4.
Yeah.
And just sit back when they need to and go forward when they need to. By the looks of it, they don't really have an out-and-out holding midfielder. If they can get one of those, I think that could be a really, really good signing. And I think the next season they could be looking at hitting the European spots again. That's what I think anyway.
Very interesting. Fair enough, man. And then we go to the 9th in Hoffenheim, and I think this is when I'd probably say we get to teams that could probably challenge for Europe, if I'm right in saying.
100%.
Yeah,
because they're only 2 points off 6.
Really
let's talk about Hoffenheim. It's funny you mentioned Newcastle earlier because obviously they lost their best striker, Jonathan, to Newcastle. And I know that a lot of English fans, the Premier League fans, will say, "Oh, Jonathan's crap," but I actually watched a bit of him last year. Hoffenheim. He's actually a good player. It's just that Steve Bruce and Newcastle don't use him to his advantages. He's more of how do I say it? He needs to be more of a facilitator. Do you know what I mean? He's a decent striker. Newcastle don't play him how they should be playing him.
What Premier League team would you say if he was to move? Which Premier League team would you say fit into? Is he a bit like a Burnley, more of a hold-up player, get it in, or is he a bit more like Aston Villa in a sense and try and get the ball wide?
To be fair, Burnley might actually, because they play a 4-4-2, don't they, with 2 big men
exactly.
top. He might actually fit them. To be fair. I think the best thing for him to career is to go back to Germany or go back to or maybe Spain, just develop his, because I feel like, especially with how fast English fans get on the players' back.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous over here, isn't it?
But yeah, going back to Hoffenheim anyway this season, they've won 10, lost 10, drawn 5. So kind of like mid-table form, really. They're lucky to be. It might still be challenging for that spot. The manager is obviously Alfred Schudrer, but obviously they lost Nagelsmann to RB Leipzig, who was who was like unreal for them, and we'll talk about him later. We'll talk about RB Leipzig. And the key player that I've highlighted is Andrea Kamaric, who's a left winger who scored 7, assisted 2, which is not amazing, not great, but he's probably our best player. Like we said earlier, form's not a thing, but he lost 4 in the last 6 games and with no wins, so it's not great. And this is an unpopular opinion because I was reading a few articles and they were saying that Hoffenheim have disappointed this season. But I think all the way around, I think in some ways, I think they've not overachieved, but done about the same because people forget that Nagelsmann is one of the best coaches in world football right now. He's he took RB Leipzig from challenging to Europe to challenging to the title this season. Do you know what I mean? He's done that.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about him later because I've got him later. But I personally think they're doing a decent job. They lost Jonathan and obviously Nagelsmann. So they've lost basically their 2 key parts of the team.
Yeah, you lose players like that, it's always going to take a knock, isn't it?
Exactly. I'll look at
it takes a couple of years for a player to step up and fill their boots. I always think.
Yeah.
Especially if you lose someone like Joelinton, who, like you said, scored that many goals for him.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You won't get someone stepping up to the plate immediately. So I reckon, like I said, a couple of years, they might be back to being that big force they were.
Exactly. I mean, look at the fixtures. They've got they've got quite a few teams. I mean, they're playing 3 teams that are down there, so you never want to play them at the end of the season, do you? You never want to play them relegation teams.
No, you don't want to play.
And they've got 2 teams around them that are fighting for like that mid-table. But then they've got teams like RB Leipzig, Dortmund, and those 2, and Hertha Berlin. So they've still got challenges to come up. Do you know what I mean? So looking at the overall season, I wouldn't say it's been a bad season. It's not been a great season, but I generally think they're just going to stay in 9th. I don't think Cologne are going to catch them. But I don't think they're going to catch anyone else. Unless, they can somehow find a striker with a bit of form, or like Freiburg or Wolfsburg drop down. But I can't see it happening. So for me, Hoffenheim, not a bad season, not a great season, but I think they're going to finish 9th and start again and try and, like you said, Tom, try and find a new striker. Or I wouldn't say it's the end of the world. They need to find, like a lot of these teams in the Bundesliga, you need to find a striker.
Yeah.
But we'll go to the next one, which is Freiburg. Only is it you that got Freiburg?
I have, yes. So
talk about Freiburg for us.
Very interesting season, to be fair. Currently sat in 8th, 1 point away from 6th, 1 point away from Schalke. So it's really, really interesting to see how their season is going to sort of come about again. Just gone, they dropped a lot of points drawing clubs around them.
Yeah.
So silly draws to the likes of, 8th, 9th, 10th place and stuff has really sort of left them where they are now. -1 goal difference as well. So it's, it has been a pretty neutral season. Mm-hmm. They haven't been outstanding at scoring goals, but at the same time, defensively, they haven't really been that weak. They've been pretty neutral. Bless you, son.
Coronavirus.
So they'll be hoping to make a push for Europe. In terms of the players, sort of outstanding and stuff like that, there wasn't many outfield players.
No.
A lot of them, they play like a nice little build-up game. So there isn't really any sort of outstanding scorer or a player that's getting sort of significantly more assists than anyone else. However, Mark Flacken in goal has had a very interesting year. So he starts the season with a syndesmotic ligament tear, which is like the outside of the ankle. So he missed. I think he must do it somewhere in the summer, maybe, because he comes back. He comes back at the start of the season. He misses sort of the first 5 or 6 games, I think it is. Then he comes back for 9 games. Bearing in mind, before he comes back, it's not the greatest start. It's pretty neutral. Lose a few games, win a few games. Classic mid-table kind of thing. But the 9 games that Flacken plays, they only lose 3 games. 2 of them being to teams above them, and 1 of them being against Munich as well, which I think they only lose by 1 or 2 goals. So he kind of come into the team for them 9 games, and he's just a quality keeper, and he's made sort of key saves and key moments that have arguably sort of gained them more points than what they would have without him. Kind of like the Samba situation, when you need a key keeper to pop up, he has done. He then gets benched for the remaining 8 games. Now I don't know if that's
why.
I don't know if that's an injury problem. I couldn't find anything that said it. I feel like it was. I feel like the injury had crept back up on him.
Surely.
Nothing. Yeah, because you don't just bench him. But as soon as he's benched, they then lose 4 games. They draw 1.
Oh, God.
And 2 out of the 3 games that they do bag 3 points, they only win by 1 goal. So it's one of them, like you lose a commanding keeper that's been arguably winning you really tough games that you weren't expecting to go into and win. And all of a sudden, they just drop a bit of form in the last 8 games. So if he has been benched in regards to like injury related, then hopefully
He might be back.
this 2 months, this 2 months might have done him a blessing and they can come and make a push. One interesting fact I did find, and I think it's a really interesting thing to touch on. Just want to say I'm not knocking Leipzig. I think they're great. I think what they've done is fantastic. But I believe they were promoted in the same. Both Freiburg and Leipzig were promoted in the same season.
2 years back now, wasn't it?
Yeah, when Freiburg were promoted, they scored 75 goals in 1 year, which was
in Division 2 or Division 1.
Yeah, in Division 2. That was a whole 21 goals more than Leipzig. And you now look at it sort of 2 years down the line, and they're sat in 8th, and Leipzig are sat where they are, challenging for the title. It just makes me sort of realise
Money.
the power of money is just crazy. Because how can a team go from scoring 21 more goals than the other, and then sitting in 8th, sort of struggling to pick up a spot in Europe, and the other teams challenging for the title? I thought that was quite an interesting little
Fair enough.
little fact.
I mean, what do you think then? Do you think that, would you say they're overachieving or underachieving?
I think they're just slightly overachieving. I think they've been solid. Like the goal difference is good. It's a pretty decent record. 10 wins, 6 draws, and 9 losses. It's not bad. It's mid-table. I mean, if they can catch Schalke, which they're not far away from doing, if Schalke slip up or they can somehow kind of pull some form out of nowhere, then they could make it in Europe. But I just don't think they're ready yet.
So you think they're mid-table?
I think if they stay mid-table and they can like try and pick up some cheap young talent maybe in the transfer window, then that would be like their best next move. But all in all, a pretty neutral season. Nothing crazy.
Fair enough. And then we go to 7th, who I think might pick 6th spot, but obviously Tommy, you can tell us more about it. We go to Wolfsburg.
Yeah, I think now when you look at the teams we've got left, they're the sort of the teams if someone said name the teams in German football, you're sort of hitting the German teams. Obviously, I've got Wolfsburg, who they were a solid, good German side. They're in the Europa League still. They're in the last 32, I think, still at the moment. So they're still in there. So they're obviously playing decent football. But 7th in the league, I'd say. Well, they're 1 point behind Schalke. I think Wolfsburg will catch Schalke. Yeah. I think that's probably going to happen with 1 point. Just looking at their form, obviously Schalke have lost 2 in their last 5. Wolfsburg have won 2. Obviously form doesn't mean anything at the moment, but I think that's going to be a key factor. And with Wolfsburg, like I said, solid team, probably a little bit underachieving at the moment. You see them hit Champions League football some years. And yes, the standard of the football's going up, but I don't think they're going to catch 5th because there's a 10-point gap between 5th and 6th. That's a big gap. But I think they can make Europe, and I do believe that. And you're looking at the team; they got a guy up front called Wout Weghorst, who is their leading goal scorer.
What a name!
And he's an absolute unit. Apparently, I think he's 6'4", stands up front, just a big lump. Holds the ball up and smashes it.
They love the big lumps in Germany, don't they?
I absolutely love him.
Yeah, they are.
I absolutely love him. But then another one of their best players is a lad called Max Arnold, who I think people have heard about a little bit. A couple of years ago, there was a lot of hype about the guy, saying this guy is going to be a player. But he hasn't really lived up to his potential yet.
Fair enough.
He's still only young. I think he's 23, 24, so he's still a young footballer.
Still plenty of time.
Still plenty of time. And just reading about him and looking at his stats and stuff like that, I suspect he'll make it big and he'll make it And I suspect he'll play Premier League football at some point. He does fit the ball. He's a playmaker, distributes the ball, can play anywhere from number 10 to right in front of the back four.
Yeah.
So he's a utility midfield player. And then the most promising I found quite funny is a lad called Kevin Mbabu, ex-Newcastle player from 2013 to 2017. The Newcastle fans absolutely hated him. They said he was dreadful. And he has been absolutely quality for Wolfsburg this year at right back. He's quick, attacking, and can play anywhere from right back to right wing.
Yeah.
So he's really good on that right side, and defence to anywhere. And I don't think he's shown his full potential. He's signed from Young Boys.
Yeah.
So he's last couple of years has obviously been showing he's living up to his potential. Obviously he's joined them at Wolfsburg, and he's carried on his form. He's not struggled at adapting. He's just gone on and smashed it. And I think he's going to be a player. I think he really will. I can see a team like Dortmund signing him.
Interesting.
Obviously, Dortmund, they've got right backs, but they've not got like a piss check like they did.
Yeah, they've got that one on loan, haven't they, from Real Madrid at the minute. So they'll need a right back. Yeah, you're right.
Odriozola, whatever he's called, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but I think that's a player. That's someone they can really use if they can get him. But yeah, story of the season: 1 point off 6. Solid. It's a solid season for him. The level on points with Freiburg, like you said, but obviously goal difference. They're on +4, so they've got a decent goal difference. But just looking at the team and looking at how they are, I think they're going to hit top 6. They're a team with pedigree. They're a team with a bit about them. They've got a big following across, I think, all of Europe from the looks of it. They're not a small team.
They're not
although obviously you can't have fans in the ground, but they're a really good, close, loud stadium, and a lot of the fans obviously back them. But yeah, I think looking at the heritage, they should always be aiming for the top 6. I think if you were going to say top 6, it'd be a good season.
Yeah.
I think top 4 or top 4 would be a quality season, but anything below top 6, I'd say is a poor season for him. But yeah. And obviously Weghorst, 11 goals. They're 11 goals this season. It's all right. Obviously, from what we've learned, there's not many people score a lot of goals for each club.
No, it's quite a rare thing.
It's quite a rare thing, which is a bit weird considering obviously the leagues we support. You get people who score 20, 25 goals most seasons, and the majority of clubs do. But then obviously their pass completion rate is 75%. So they're a bit down compared to other teams. Yeah. But then their shots per game is up to 14. So you can see now the teams are gradually increasing. So the better teams are increasing the shots and taking the chances. So, but yeah, that's Wolfsburg. I think they'll mount a charge. I don't think they can catch 5th. 10-point gap, but I reckon
10 points is a lot.
But I think if they can win a few games, they can really put the pressure on 5th and say, look, if we're going to get a run going, we will try and have you. Yeah. I think it could make for a really good end to the season.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I mean, we're good 6 now. Schalke, a team that has won 9, drawn 10, lost 6. They've scored 33, had 36 goals conceded. They're at -3 goal difference. Their manager's obviously David Wagner from Huddersfield. Obviously, we all know him. He took them they were 14th last season. He took them 6th, so he's done a great job, to be fair.
Yeah.
4-2-3-1 system. And a bit like he tried to do at Huddersfield, they play quite an intense pressing game. So, they like to, especially on the wing, so if a left back or right back gets on your position, they like to press with a striker, a cam, and a right mid to box them in. Do you know what I mean? Try and block on the passing lane.
There's a free.
Yeah.
The keeper I highlighted, you might have heard of him, I don't know. If you've played FIFA, you definitely have. Amin Harit, who's I think he's Moroccan, but I'm not sure. He scored 6, assisted 4 in an attacking mid/left wing role. But like Tom said, they've not won in the last 6 games. And there's only 7 points between them and 11th, which is nothing.
No.
With 9 games to go and it's basically like a new season that this is.
Yeah, it could make or break them.
Exactly. I mean, for a pressing team, having this 2-month break might have been the best thing for them because they could get their stamina back. Or it could be the worst thing for them. And when they have to press again, they don't have that intensity to press. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to blow out.
Also, I don't think there's been enough goals scored for them. To be 6, obviously I know it's Bundesliga, it's a bit different, but to be 6 on a -3 goal difference, for me, it's not good enough.
Yeah, I thought that. I was going to comment on that as well.
Yeah, clearly not good enough. And I'm looking at their next few games, right? They've got the derby against Dortmund. That's like the biggest derby for them. That's away. And obviously, like we said, home and away doesn't really matter anymore because there's no fans. But they've got Dortmund away. They've got Union Berlin to play. They've got Leverkusen to play. They've got Wolfsburg to play as well. That'll be an interesting one. Second to last game of the season. I just don't think they've got what it takes to stay in the sixth place. I really don't. I don't.
You really think they'll drop out?
I think they're going to drop out. I really do because they've not won them. I know, like we said, form's gone out the window, obviously. So we'll take form with a pinch of salt. But they've not won them the last.
Yeah.
They're not won them the last 6, mate. They're on -3 goal difference. They're only 1 point above Wolfsburg and Freiburg. 2 points off Hoffenheim. And only 5 points off Cologne. And if Cologne keep on, like, obviously it's hard for them. If they keep like a run like they are, you never know what might happen. I think it's going to be Wolfsburg, personally, like Tom said. I just think.
Yeah, I think Wolfsburg are just they're just sort of more switched on as a team and as a club, aren't they?
I think just looking at their stats now for Schalke, their top goal scorers are on 6 and 7.
Yeah.
To be in 6th and only have 6 and 7 goals is it's
yeah.
really poor. It's really poor, if anything. And looking at their players, they've obviously got decent players. They've got John Joe Kenny from Everton.
Yeah, he's been a solid midfielder.
He's a player, and then they got people like Nestatic who used to play for Man City, and then Stambouli, and they got McKennie. All people who are competent footballers and just haven't performed.
Like the thing is with like David Vaughan, like obviously he took them from 14th to 6th, but that team should have been 14th in the first place.
No, not at all.
I don't know if I'm not sure. I'm unsure if I rate him as a top manager yet, if that makes sense. I'm unsure.
Yeah.
Rate him as a top manager.
Yeah, he's a bit on that. He's a bit on that sort of edge.
Yeah,
and I was thinking, Schalke passed their best. Like a few years ago, Schalke were the team when they had like Schürrle and those lot.
Yeah,
they were a serious team. They were a big force, but are they? Are they really in the? But then you're looking at the recent things. They lost 5-0 to Leipzig, and they got beat 3-0 by Cologne. They're not performing, are they? They're not winning the games or drawing the games they should be.
I mean, they've drawn the most. I think the problem also, like, they've drawn most games out of anybody in the league. They've drawn 10.
10 draws is a lot
for a team who's trying to fight. Because obviously, 6th place in Bundesliga is in the Europa League, but in the qualifying, so they only get 5th guaranteed. So obviously, but to be in the about 6th spot and have -3 goal difference and drawn 10, I just can't see them managing to get up and stay on 6th. But you never know. Things might happen. Then we go to 5th now. I mean, you've got Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Who I know some people's favourite Bundesliga team, especially on Twitter, because they're very active on Twitter, aren't they? Yeah. But what do you want to talk about them?
I think the main standout, obviously, sat in 5th. For me, the main standout is this is where you split the league in terms of these are your top clubs now.
Yeah.
I mean,
agreed.
You think about 14 wins, 5 draws, 47 points. So they're 10 points ahead of Schalke, which is...
They've secured 5th, I think. I think they've secured 5th.
Absolutely. I mean, they're also only sort of 2 points off 4th. And then if they can unlock that, they can even push into like 3rd. Don't think they're going to challenge for the table at this point.
I was going to say, would you say that they're only 8 points off top? Well, obviously, I would say they're probably not in the title race, but I know some people are, especially optimistic.
Yeah.
For me, they're not in it. But what do you think, Owen? Obviously,
no, I don't think they're in it.
Can they make top 4? Do you think they'll make top 4? They can make
top 4. I think they will make top 4.
Oh,
yeah,
I think
agree.
They will. I think they will. I think I'll get into it. They're really well organised, really good build-up play. A great season, been absolutely solid.
They've got Havertz, haven't they? Who's an unreal baller.
Great player.
Absolute baller.
Yeah, actually, he's so young as well, isn't he? He's younger than us, isn't he?
That's like nice. If they could have kept hold of Brandt for another year, at Dortmund, they would have been absolutely steaming up that league.
Yeah, they would have agreed.
Goal difference is 15, so it's a hell of a lot less than
the rest.
Your Leipzig, your Dortmund, and your Munich, but nevertheless, a really solid.
But that
season.
league is good.
Exactly. Sort of going forward, then 2 main players really that stand out is Kevin Volland and Kai Havertz.
Havertz, yeah.
Them 2, phenomenal link-up play. They really run the attacking end through those guys. Between the 2, 15 goals, which for this league isn't bad.
Yeah.
But the main one that gets me between the two for 12 assists.
That's good.
So the really unselfish play really worked nicely together.
Mm-hmm.
I really think they can. I think they will comfortably get top four.
You think they'll pick fourth spot?
Yeah, without a doubt. Like, I'm confident they'll get the top four. One thing that, like you mentioned, Dylan, could they push and win the title? I mean, mathematically they can.
Yeah, of course.
And I
That's why I
don't
throw it out there. That's why I throw it out there. You know what I mean?
I don't want to rule it out purely based on this whole quarantine situation. 2 months out of football. It's really uncertain. This league could look so different within the next sort of like the end of the. For me, it feels like a new season.
Yeah.
So the end of the new season, if you like, the entire league can look completely different.
Obviously, you've got one more team to talk about. We'll talk about your other team later. But you're not going to class these as your title challenges, are you?
No, they're definitely not title
So you're
challenges.
saying fourth, yeah?
Yeah. Fourth, maybe third. It's going to be tough.
Fair enough. So you've gone fourth.
It's going to be tough. Definitely fourth.
Yeah.
If they could bag
Definitely
third,
fourth.
that would be a really successful season for them.
Fair enough.
But I don't think they're going to stay fifth. I think they will keep expanding, and they're on a rise, and they are a great club.
Fair enough. So Tom, obviously you agree with that, and you've got fourth place, Borussia Mönchengladbach. So why do you think they're going? I'm guessing you're saying they're going to drop to fifth.
Yeah, I think they will drop to fifth. But I think firstly with Mönchengladbach, a few years ago, they were that bog standard lower level.
Yeah.
But then they've just. I think they've had a bit of money pumped into them, but it's not been massive. They've just really played good football. It's like
they started the season on fire, didn't they?
It's a bit like a Leicester situation
to
a degree. It's a bit like a Leicester to a degree, but they're not obviously they haven't won it. But they did start the season on fire. You're right. At the start of the season, you were like, "Geez, they're at the top. They can't maintain it." And obviously they haven't, but they're in the top four. Very very competent footballing side, and they don't spend big money. I think that's the big thing you have to understand with them. They're quite clever on who they sign. It's either young players or experienced, or they're big on the academy side of things.
Yeah, they're doing their homework, aren't they?
They do their homework and they do the research, and I think simply, I think it shows off. It shows they've done the research, and you look at their team. Their best player, the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer. For anybody who plays FIFA will know about that guy. He's an absolute god.
I saw the save he made against Bayern Munich.
It was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, God,
that was good. That was. He dragged it off the line. That was unreal.
And then their striker, they got a guy called Alassane Plia.
Yes.
So he's if you play FIFA, you've probably heard of him as well.
But I don't think the winger, hasn't he? What's his name?
He's played Mbolo.
No, I'm thinking of Marcus. The one who always holds the flag up. What's his name?
I'll get it. It's all right. For Leipzig? Oh, for thingy?
No, for...
Thuram.
Yeah, he was on fire at the start of the season.
Yeah, but he's gone off the boil because he only scored 6 goals.
But he did start off on fire.
He started off on fire. He was rooted to be this guy's going to be having an absolute worldie this season.
Yeah.
He hasn't. And I'd say, if you're looking at most promising player, I'd have to say it's a lad called Breel Mbolo. He's a Swiss striker, but can play on the wing as well. The wing as well.
Yeah,
I think, like I said, anybody who's played FIFA has heard of him on Korea mode. But looking at him, he's strong, quick, and he can play both either wings and down the middle. So you get the versatility. You get the versatility, and I think that's one of the best things you need. You want to swap wingers and start with tactics to swap wings, swap sides. Mm-hmm. He's perfectly capable of playing on the inside, both footed as well. Another massive thing. Young player, and he's still only young. I think he's early 20s.
Fair enough.
So he's got a big career ahead of him.
Yeah.
I can see him going to bigger and better things. I think he's probably one to watch for the future.
Fair enough.
Probably maybe PSG, somewhere like that. I reckon he might go to.
Interesting.
Somewhere like that. He's a good player. Like I said, they're currently starting fourth as well. Yeah, it could be a negative going to PSG, but it could be. The money's there.
So you say all these good things about them. Why are they going to drop down? Why do you think they're going to drop it then?
I just think Leverkusen are just a better side, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
looking at the top scorer is played with only 8 goals. That's not good enough compared to the likes of like Volland and Havertz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 15 goals, 12 assists between the two of them.
15 goals. That's massive. If you were playing if you were playing in like a Premier League winning side and you came up with that return, you wouldn't be like you'd be looked at like that's a good return
good
result.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what it is in me that thinks that they're not going to make it. I just think, looking at the run, yes, they're both on good runs, but look at the run Leverkusen are on and the players Leverkusen have got. Mönchengladbach, I think just looking at their team, they're just a bit
too early.
They're peaked too early, and I think they're just a little bit. I don't know what the word is.
Overperforming.
I think they're just not overperforming, and they're just lacking a bit at the back.
Like we said,
they haven't got a lead. They haven't got that leader from the back. They just need an experienced defender. I think if they had that, they'd be fine. But I think 5th place, you're still getting on to European football. It's a good season. If they can,
I don't quite think they're ready for the Champions League. I think dropping 5th will be nice for them because obviously they had the big spike because they were that mediocre mid-table side.
Exactly.
So I think.
Yeah,
I think they need to drop. I think Europa League for a year, and then kind of assess where they're at. I think
it's a good opportunity. Europa League. There's still some cracking teams in there, but you have to think of it like you're going to get Mönchengladbach up against Liverpool at Anfield with all them people in there. They're not going to stand a chance. You're going to send them to the Bernabeu. Not a chance. No, even teams like Galatasaray could do them because they're not used to it. I think they'd struggle in Europe because I think they'll struggle. 1, because they haven't got the experience of players playing in Europe, and 2, because they won't be used to the hostile environment you get playing around. If you play in the UK, you're going to get a big reception. You're going to get a hostile environment. You travel anywhere in Europe. France, Spain, Turkey, for that matter, anywhere that way, you're going to get a really hostile reception. I don't think they'll be able to adapt to that. But like you said, a few years ago, Leverkusen were nothing. I think 4th and 5th is a cracking season for them. I'd give them a lot of. They deserve a lot of credit to say how well they started the season. And they haven't really messed up. That's the thing. They've only lost 6. They haven't messed up. It's just I think they've, like I said, Dortmund, Leipzig, Munich have just
turned it on.
And I think you have to respect that because those 3 teams are, like you said, the big 3.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is look at the goal difference between like them and Leipzig. Leipzig on 36 and they're on 19. Like they're just missing that last little element, and they're not going to have it straight away, given the fact that they've had such a quick spike.
They're only averaging 13 shots a game as well. When that's where you point made there. They're just not. They just haven't got that attacking force, and that's why they can't compete. Because you look at that to Munich, they're going to put shots away every game. And the majority of shots they put away will go in. So that's where the problem is. And I think couple of years maybe, bring in some players. They might be a force to be reckoned with. But at the moment, I think if they did Europe and got in the Champions League, they wouldn't qualify.
Fair enough. Yeah. Let's go top 3 now. So we've all picked. I mean, I gave Owen, you love Dortmund.
Yeah, I'm a big Dortmund fan.
Tom thinks Bayern Munich's going to win. I went for RB Leipzig, so we'll go for RB Leipzig first, and we'll go in the table still. So the reason I chose RB Leipzig is, unpopular opinion, I really like them. I mean, I know they're one of the most hated teams in Germany, and I get it, but I'm looking at it as like a footballing view, right? I know there's politics that they don't like, but I'm still got just football, okay?
Yeah.
Also, I still get why German fans want to see someone else win it bar by Munich. That's for another debate anyway. Maybe I'm uneducated.
I can understand
I get some hate from some like German fans now, but you can educate me. But anyway, let's talk about football. I'm going to pitch you to why I think they're going to win the league.
All right.
The record
win the league as in this year.
As in this year. This is what I'm going to do.
Have a day off.
I'll tell you why they're going to win the league. All right, let me just think. All right, so they've won 14, drawn 8, lost 3. They've lost the least amount of games in the league. They've drawn more, but they have lost the least, right? They've got the second best goal difference in the league, and they average 2.48 goals a game, and they concede 1.4 goals a game. That's good. Also, they've got the best manager in Germany, by far. There's no doubt about it. Like, he's one of the best managers in Europe. In obviously Julian Nagelsmann, 32 years old. There's players older than him.
He's really young. Yeah,
he became the youngest manager at 28 when he took over Hoffenheim in 2008. So he was 28. We took Hoffenheim to the Champions League, which was It shouldn't have happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's only lost 5 times in all competitions as RB Leipzig manager this season. That's not bad.
Not at all.
And then we look at the team. Yeah, the key player. You know what I'm going to say. Timo Werner is unreal. Listen to these stats: 21 goals in 25 games. Not the best striker in the league. We know who that is, Lewandowski. But I'm going to put a shot. But he's the best German striker. And he's only scored 3 penalties, which is kind of like a really good record if you think about it. He's only had 3 penalties in that goal. He's assisted 6 as well. Expected goals and assists per 90 is 1.10. So he basically scores a goal or gets an assist every game, which is mental. He averages 3.9 shots per game. And according to who scored, he's the second best striker in the league, obviously behind, what's his name?
Lewandowski.
Yes, thank you. My prediction, reasons why they're going to win the league, right? Out of the top 3, they've got the easiest run. They only have to play Dortmund, that's it. The rest of the teams are in the bottom half of the table. So on paper, they've got the easiest run. I know obviously bottom teams aren't always great to play.
The easiest.
But on paper, they have out of the top 3, they've got the easiest run, okay? They're out of a German cup, not like Dortmund, and I don't know if that's still going on. Obviously, they're still in the Champions League. They embarrassed Spurs.
Yeah, big time.
They did embarrass Spurs. That was quite fun.
I mean, I don't know if you lot watched, they came out of the blocks, hit the post like twice in the first 30 seconds. Like, this team going forward is unreal. In my eyes, they're the best team to watch. Some might say Dortmund, I say these personally. I know.
I don't agree.
they love to move the ball and move the opposition, and they find a pocket of space where is it Nkunku? Is that his name? The cam. Anyway, he finds a pocket of space, and he's got like 15 assists this season, which is like second in the league.
Oh, Nkunku.
Yeah, that's the one. Sorry. And also one thing that Nelsman teams are really good at, like they'll adapt from a 3-5-2 to like straight to a 5 at the back if they're defending. Do you know what I mean? To be defending a 5-3-2 and 0, essentially they have no striker up top. But then when they attack, they go to like a 3-5-2. So they're very quick at adapting, really quick. I think tactics, he's the best manager in the league by far. And like he's gone toe to toe, obviously. Dortmund they drew 3-3. I remember watching that game actually on a dodgy box stream. That was a great game. But yeah, like I said, look at their last fixtures. They've got Freiburg, they can win that. Mainz, they can win that. Hertha Berlin, Cologne, Hoffenheim, Dusseldorf, Dortmund, and they finish off at Augsburg. So Dortmund's the only strong team they've really got, if we're being honest.
Here's a question though: if Werner got injured, how would they be?
Oh, agreed. 100% agree.
Because without disrespecting them, they're a good team, but without Werner, they'll be absolutely screwed because they haven't got any. And like when I was looking, because I looked at them last night, they've got a quality defence as well.
Oh yeah, they are 2 centre backs in the league according to who scored.
They are lacking a little bit of midfielder. You've got to admit they need to. In all fairness, if they could bring in a couple of big midfielders, they've clearly got the money to. But I think if Werner got injured, say you got injured tomorrow, they'd be they wouldn't have a chance. And you've got to admit that.
I would say the same with Lewandowski though.
I'd probably say the same with Lewandowski, but I mean,
I know what you mean,
the team at Munich is probably like they got the chance, but like if Werner got injured, then they'd struggle because they got Poulsen up front. And he's not great.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. Yeah, Dortmund and Bayern Munich have better teams, right? But it's the manager that I think gives them the edge. And also, this 2-month break, in my eyes, benefits RB Leipzig because Bayern Munich were just getting going before the break. Dortmund were a bit hot and cold, like they were, you know what I mean? They were going for a funny patch. Also, because they're such a pressing team and like to adapt, this gives them fitness at back. Do you know what I mean? They're all young players as well. Now, I'm not saying RB Leipzig are guaranteed winners of the league, but they're a team that I'm going to watch, not support. That's another team, but I'm going to watch these, and I do think they're going to win the title. And I know it's an outside shot, so I'm probably going to come back to this like 2 months' time and be like embarrassed. But I believe in Nagelsmann, and I generally rate him such highly as a manager. And I think and they're only how many points is it off top? 5.
Yes.
Yes,
5 points off. Yeah, and say they've only all played Dortmund and no one else in the top 6. Like that's unreal for like the final.
Yeah.
Like their fixtures like favour them. They've got the best, like I said, out of the top 3. So for me, it's RB Leipzig. Owen, we'll go to you now. You're gonna put your argument for Borussia Dortmund. Do you think they're gonna win the league?
Firstly, I don't.
Don't you?
No, I just think I really like the club, and I do think they have a chance. I mean, leveling losses with Munich. I think the only thing that separates them is like a couple of wins that Munich have, where Dortmund drew instead.
Two more wins, and
it's the only reason they're 4 points behind. I just have the feeling that they won't be able to. It's all ifs and buts with this, obviously, because
of course.
I mean, you've got your point, Dylan. Like any three of them teams at the top could win it if one comes out of the box hotter than the other. I just think, given how Dortmund's form was, sort of coming into it a bit hot and cold and stuff, I think that'll knock them mentally. I just don't think they'll catch Munich.
I think they'll finish third. I think that mind
I'm more likely to see them drop third than to finish first.
Yeah.
And I think a biggest thing, I mean, you take the club, highest average attendance in the world.
Yeah.
Obviously,
it'll be weird for them playing without them fans, in it. That's gonna be weird.
Them fans are unreal. Like, I reckon without them fans, they might struggle.
That's what I mean.
They carry them at times. When they're struggling, the fans get behind them and they come back again. But I think without it, it could be interesting.
That's going to be huge. I mean, I found out last night that a season ticket costs 350 quid at Dortmund. And like, for me, that's ridiculous. Like, it's amazing, and it goes to show how much the fans mean to the club, and the other way around. Like, the club value them fans. So I think for them to play in that ground empty, that's going to be a big knock.
Yeah.
I think that's really going to tip them negatively over the edge, because they're not going to be able. There's been so many occasions where the fans have turned them around and they've gone and won the game. Yeah. So I think they're going to struggle. I think they're going to struggle coming out of this.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Holland is unreal.
Big shout out to Sancho, though.
Oh, yeah. Baller.
English lad, absolute 20 years of age, 14 goals, 15 assists. That's bloody phenomenal.
I debate with a uni lad, like, who would you rather sign, him or Sterling, if you're a club?
Him.
Yeah, I agree.
Any day of the week.
Yeah, I agree.
Any day of the week. Like, to do that in that league, at that club.
He's double figures for goals and assists, isn't he? He's double figures.
Yeah, 14 goals, 15 assists. So and not only that, but to come through the ranks there at that age, at only 20 years old, and do that in this league is bloody decent.
He'll be in the Premier League soon. He'll be back.
I hope he stays in Dortmund a few more years, though, and improve his game.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
I don't think he will, but I hope he does. Like, I think he will move. But I
think I'd love to see him in there and win Dortmund the league. But
yeah,
when what's it, Liverpool or United come calling, the money will be too big. Yeah. And at the end of the day, he's a Manchester lad, isn't he? And if Manchester United come calling, it means he can move back home. I can see he'd take that in a heartbeat, coming back to where he grew up.
Yeah,
I mean, if he could stay one more year though, because obviously I don't know if you're going to talk about him, but about Haaland up front is unreal. The striker they got from Red Bull Salzburg, won it. Unreal baller.
But yeah, overall though, I think obviously, of course, it's been a great year for them. I just think without the fans, they can't do it. They just don't have the oomph.
Fair enough.
Because them Dortmund fans just provide something else.
So where are they finishing out in your eyes? Where are you going to put them?
I'd like to see him stay second, but I generally can see him fall into third.
Fair enough.
I think it will be third.
And then we'll move on to Tom's prediction. I'm doing it wrong. I probably think Bayern Munich are going to win, but I'm still going to stick with RB Leipzig. I want someone different. But Tom, put your prediction to Bayern Munich.
I mean, I think Bayern Munich will win, but I'd rather see like Dortmund win or Leipzig win, because it's just something different, isn't it? They've won it.
Yeah.
And like, just looking at them, looking into them, if they win the league this year, they'll have won the league for the 8th year in a row. That's why I just want another team to come in and have it, but I can't see it happening. I mean, the Bayern, they speak for themselves. They're a quality side, and it's not like it's not like other teams that are quality in the league, but the moment they go into Europe, they start to struggle. Bayern dominate Europe as well. Yes, they don't always win it, but in Europe they dominate it, and they will play, and they prove their worth. And I mean, obviously, the best player at Bayern, obviously everybody knows, Lewandowski.
Unreal.
Absolute player. I mean, what's his return this year? 33 games, 39 goals.
In all competitions.
It's a serious return.
Do you think? I still think he's criminally underrated in Europe. I still think he's the best striker in Europe. I honestly
he is. People
Yeah.
don't rate him. People rate
There's a
like
Farmers League.
there's like people put Aguero above him, and I just like Lewandowski is an absolute player. If you played in the Premier League, he'd absolutely shred it.
Bag, yeah.
The guy's quick, he's massive, and he heads, and he's got an amazing shot power.
He knows where the back of net is, doesn't he? He just knows it.
He
Naturally.
doesn't need a couple of chances. But and you look at Bayern's season though. In November they were 7 points off the top in 7th place.
They had a bad start, didn't they?
They had a bad start.
It's really shaky.
But then it shows that sort of club how 2 wins together and they're off.
Vision of blind, didn't they?
They've drawn once in their. They've in the last 11 games. They've won 10 out of 11. So they're on a roll.
They've got the best record in 2020, haven't they? In Bundesliga.
No, they don't lose.
Like 16 points in like 8 from 18 points. Like they've just gone from, like you said, like obviously they started the manager, didn't they, after losing 5-1 to
exactly.
Frankfurt. No, not Frankfurt.
It was one of those sort of teams.
It was a low team. I can't remember who it was.
But I think the big thing about them is it just shows like how they're a top team. They can lose games, and then at the flick of a switch, they'll just go again, and they'll go and they'll go and then go. And it's not like, and like I said, if Lewandowski got injured, they've still got people who can play up front. Like they've got Thomas Muller, who's a serious player in his own right.
He's got
you got Serge Gnabry, unreal player.
Yeah, he has.
He's come from nothing again. Got released by Arsenal. Was at West Brom for a while.
Wasn't good enough West Brom, remember?
Wasn't good enough West Brom.
West Brom are kicking themselves now.
West Brom are kicking themselves. He is an absolute player. But I think the most promising player is a lad who's still 19, Alphonso Davies.
Yes.
I watched him in the Champions League game, and I was like, this kid is an absolute player.
He teared Chelsea apart, didn't he? Him and Lewandowski.
He can play anywhere from left back to left mid to left wing. Serious player. And I mean, I can't see him moving anytime soon. He's at the best club in Germany. He's playing week in, week out. He's keeping Alaba out of the team. Alaba's a serious left back in his own right. Mm-hmm. And it's just one of those where you're like, this kid's going to be class. He's 19. He's tore apart Chelsea. He's absolutely class.
To do that at 19 is something else as well, isn't it?
But yeah, I can't see Bayern slipping up. They're too good. They've got they've got a team full of quality, regardless wherever it is in the pitch. They're a team full of quality. And the interesting things that come out with it, obviously Lewandowski 39 goals. When you're looking at, they're getting 18.3 shots per game off compared to all the other teams. That's massive. But then the big stat is they've got a pass completion rate of 87.5%.
That's mad.
That's compared to.
That's sky higher than anyone else, isn't it?
Compared to Wolfsburg, they've got 75. They've got 87.5% for pass rate. It shows that alone proves they're one of the best teams. They're just
a different level, aren't they?
Yeah,
different level, and like there's no wonder teams like Liverpool struggle against them, or maybe it's a tough game. Yeah, but they're one of the best. They are one of the best teams in Europe, and I think people aren't afraid to say that.
Fair enough. I mean, like I probably did now know that Bayern going to win the league. I was hoping that maybe someone else would win differently.
I do agree with you in a way, Dylan. Like, and part of me wants Dortmund to win it as well because it'd be nice to see.
The best chance, though. I don't think it's not the best chance.
Yeah. Out of the three, I don't think Dortmund can do it. If they do it, then brilliant.
Yeah, I just think if a team was to win the league, they'd have to be at the top now. I think. Yeah. If Munich were third,
4 point gap's quite big, isn't it?
If 4 point gap, if Munich was second, third, or fourth, any team's got a chance. But if Munich are first, they'll struggle. They've got a 4 point gap. They can still afford to lose a game and still be ahead and still go again.
Yeah.
And I think even if Leipzig or Dortmund lose a game, then it does. Then I think the season's done. It's done because Munich has to draw it and then they're good. They've got a point gap. I mean, they got that's 5 points.
Agree. I think it's arguably been one of the best title races in Europe this season, though. Like,
it's really tight.
The English league is boring when it comes to title race. French league, well, they scrapped it. That was boring.
It's the same every year.
Italian league, there's 2 teams. Same with Spain. So this one's quite good to have. Obviously, it's not really 4 teams in it, but for a 6 point gap for 4 teams, not bad, is it? Obviously,
I think the key, and arguably like the most exciting part of this now is that all 3 of them teams will be looking at it like, we can fucking do this now.
Yeah, 100%.
All 3 of them will. All 3 of them will go for it.
Nothing's stopping them. That's the thing. Nothing's stopping them saying.
Yeah, agreed. So
Yeah.
there's a big question obviously on Twitter right now. Obviously, it's the only league. Obviously, I know there's obviously the Japan league going on, but let's be honest, who cares about that? So obviously, there's a question around like who does everyone support in the Bundesliga? So Owen, I'll go to you. Which team, until obviously our teams come back, are you cheering on? If you had to like watch their game, who are you watching this Saturday?
Berlin.
Berlin.
I just like
Great
the club.
shout,
I like
great
I like
shout.
what they're doing. Like I know that you're kind of in a relegation battle, but you know,
but not. Right, that's safe.
they're safe. You know, they're just going to enjoy. I
You just
enjoy
want them
the
in Europe,
club.
don't you? You just want them to do. You want them a
Hey.
miracle. You want a miracle to Europe, don't you? That's what you want.
Yeah, I do. I mean, mathematically, any club that can
7 points off.
mathematically,
Yeah.
any club that can mathematically pull out an absolute wonder of a season, I'm all down for. And I do quite like the direction of the club. So for
Fair
me,
enough.
it would be them.
Fair enough. Tom, who are you gonna support?
Leverkusen. I like it.
Yeah, they were my second shout.
I always have. I mean, I just like the way they play. They play kind of fearless football. If they concede at the back, they don't really care. They just carry on and go forward. I mean, with the likes of Havertz and Volland and Kevin or Leon Bailey and Paulinho and whatever.
Yeah.
And Aranguiz, quality midfielder. They've got a great side. I support them, and I will probably for the while.
Fair enough. For me, it's between either Berlin, because actually, same with you, and I love the story, like being
it's so good.
Get relegated. Or maybe as much as obviously I Dortmund, I do obviously everyone loves watching Dortmund. Most fans like Dortmund. But like I said, to watch, it's got to be Leipzig. I know that's not going to be very popular with people because they don't like Leipzig, but
just play exciting football, don't they?
Good. So guys, if you enjoyed that preview, obviously it's been a long preview. We spoke about every team. So we looked at YouTube videos, and not many YouTubers did every team. They did the top 6.
No,
We're going to talk about every team, and so if you like it, make sure that like. We might even do like a Serie A or La Liga one if that's coming back. Rumours is before our league. So if you want that, hit the like button. Tom, I'm sure you'll come on again, won't you, for that?
Always. I'll happily jump back on for another.
Thank you for a day, Ryan. Thanks for letting us borrow you for a day.
It's all right.
Obviously, guys, if you still don't know, go check out their channel, Inside of Time. It'll be in the link, obviously, in the description. Also, we did a video with them like last week. Great video about non-league football. Owen, thank you for joining me again, as always.
Always a pleasure. It's great to talk about some relevant football that's coming back.
We might even, if this goes well, we might even do like a recap, but we're not sure yet.
Yeah, of course.
But there, guys, like I said, Tom's channel will be in the description below. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and enjoy the Bundesliga.